To help people that are new to London to find interesting places around the tube station. So you get a map of the tube and with some stations on it. You can choose a specific station, and then the first idea was get a list of places. It was really boring, not very interesting. You could get like details and filter them. So, yeah.
So the idea we had was that London is like a series of villages, and that the tube station is a kind of the centre of all these little villages that you have as you interact around, travelling around the city, which is kind of definitely the case as you start there. So like as you travel around, when you're new to the city or you're a tourist, your only interaction with the villages, you come to the tube station, you look around and go, I'm going to go there. So the idea is that we can use the app to go, oh, I'm at this tube station, it can give you details about what's around. So we've got some different designs that we did.
So then we thought of different ways of showing.
We really wanted to focus on like we were getting hung up in the genericness of it. There's lots of apps that just list and you can navigate. We wanted something that was a bit more fun, a bit more visual. We've kind of focused on this idea of having a little kind of graphic around. So these types of like fun kind of danger level apps or fun level apps where it's quite a lot of complex data with just a really simple visualization. And then perhaps the idea is that we don't worry about where the data is coming from. It's curated. Maybe it's like an editorial site like Time Out. And then maybe where you jump off to at the end is a map or back to Kite or somewhere. And we're just focusing on tubes and life around tubes and navigating by that. So you're kind of thinking, all right, I click on the map and I click on Angel and I click on Old Street and I can kind of compare the types of things that are going on in those locations. So there's like culture, pubs, other things.
So it would be something really simple like the app tries to find your location. And so, for example, you're near Old Street, you have the option to change it. It's not correct. Then the next screen would be two locations next to where you're from, next to where you are, and you can then tap different stations to get an idea of what's available around them. So we're not really sure about the categories, but it would be something like entertainment, food. I don't know. I have to think about that. But the idea is to compare them, and then if you're really interested in one of them, you can tap and hold, and then you get what we call the fun lens or something like that. And you get like a Google Maps view of the thing in a real map around the station. That's basically it.
That's kind of, as far as we go with it. Yeah.
Question?
How real time is it? So let's say, depending on the time of day, it could actually be less sexy than. So have you thought about how time, real time comes into play?
We didn't really look at that. That's a really interesting way of doing it. I think that was something that we discussed earlier on about when we had some of our ideas about how we could use time of day to suggest data sets. But yeah, that's a really good idea. You could hold it on the tube station and go. And obviously later at night, if you're in Soho, you might have different behaviours than you would during the day.